Right, I realise this is a couple of days late. I've been getting into the habit of that. It's a bad habit. I've got to get out of it. But yeah, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We have a actual full trailer for it. That's more than just a little teaser, and we've got a lot to actually digest. There's a lot packed into this. First off, Namor, big villain, probably not going to be the actual full antagonist for the duration of the movie, or he's going to have his like low-key turn moment right at the end of this movie, or in like an after credit scene, or the start of whatever the next movie is, because leading into Secret Wars, the kind of unlikely alliance between Namor and Black Panther is kind of a big thing that ties into the end of that book. And if they go that route in the movie, which they probably should do because it's some of the best moments from Secret Wars, I'd love to see that done. And I think Namor needs to kind of have his redemption arc, or he needs to kind of... He's always been a character that's towed the line of sometimes he's a villain, sometimes he's a hero. Most of the time he's heroic, though. Or he's always had that kind of... he's not really evil in the reasons behind what he's doing. It's more just he always finds himself a lot of the time he finds himself on the wrong side of the conflict, because he puts his people before humanity, and often and sometimes he's like Ocean Master. If you think about it, Ocean Master, how he was in the Aquaman movie, he's more like that than he is like Aquaman. Like, Aquaman is very straight-laced. He's a good guy. He's always going to be a good guy, unless it's in injustice. Namor is very much like, I will do whatever benefits my people. If saving the rest of the planet benefits my people, then I will do that. If stealing the Invisible Woman and making her my bride, it benefits my people, I will do that. If fighting alongside the Fantastic Four benefits my people, I will do that. So he's not really hero, but he's not really villain either. So I think the MCU will go more closer to, we're gonna turn him into a hero later on. He's gonna be a antagonist of this. I think the main antagonist will probably be Atuma. If you look at his headpiece, they didn't put that much work into the character design to not have him be a big part of the movie later on. So I think Atuma's definitely main villain. Namor probably going to have a turn halfway through, or either at the midpoint of the movie, or at the end of the movie. So I think that's my big prediction. Ironheart's in this. Cool. Her suit. We haven't really had a good look at the suit, but they are doing the thing like what they did with how they had Jarvis in the Iron Man suit. They are doing the thing where it's the head and it's just a cloud with voices. Fine with that. That's how they illustrate Iron Man talking to his suit. That's how they'll illustrate Ironheart talking to her suit. Interesting that she's going to build it in Wakanda. that's interesting. Is Riri Williams going to be Wakandan? Interesting. I know she has like a big, like a lot of her stories, or at least recently, have tied into Wakanda in a big way, but I don't know if putting her in Wakanda kind of separates her from Iron Man a bit too much. I don't know. I've never really cared for the character of Riri Williams, but Riri Williams. I've never cared much for that character in the comics. It'll be interesting to see if the movies can do what the comics didn't, because they have done for some characters. For other characters, I care about them in the comics and not in the movies. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with that character and how much they changed her character. Because if she's not Wakandan, it will be interesting that they just let this random kid into Wakanda to build some tech, or maybe she's like studied with Shuri and she's friends with Shuri. Maybe they're gonna do the whole studying overseas part of Black Panther's history, or T'Challa's background, and they're going to put that into Shuri's character, and that's going to be what they do. I don't know. It would be interesting to see that. We got an actual look at the new Black Panther suit. I think it looks good. It's got the gold accents in it. It looks pretty good. It looks nothing like the comic version of Shuri's suit. I'm just going to call it now. It's Shuri in there. Obviously it is. If it's anyone else in there, then there's going to be like uproar, to be honest. Seen a lot of people saying that she needs a training montage, or that she can't be Black Panther because she's not trained in combat. The Dora Milaje can easily train her in a montage scene. That can be like there. 3 minutes of the movie can be concentrated on that. It's not a big deal, to be honest. If you want it to be one of the Dora Milaje, that's fine. The way the body looks, it doesn't look like it's one of those actresses. It looks more like Letitia Wright. I'm really excited for this Black Panther movie. It looks like it's got the most to be excited for like it's introducing new stuff. It's introducing a fan favorite character in Namor, a character that a lot of people have been screaming for, and a character that admittedly they can't have done before, but it's peeling back another layer of us getting mutants. It's another connection to the Fantastic Four, so we're leading into that more. And there's a lot of stuff to like here. There's a lot of stuff to like and a lot of stuff to get on board with, and there's a lot of stuff to be interested in. I want to talk a little bit about the whole like recast Chadwick Boseman thing. I'm against that. I'm always going to be against, recasting an actor that has died in the same cinematic universe or in the same franchise, right? Because it's a lot more complicated, and it's a lot more there's a lot more of a human factor in that than just the business decision of this actor doesn't want to do the next movie because we're not paying them enough, or this actor wants more money, or this character just hasn't got the the drive and just doesn't know where the character is going to go, or they just didn't like how the last movie was and they don't like the script. The actor died, so I think it's disrespectful to the memory of Chadwick Boseman, and it would be disrespectful to his family, and whether or not his family have said, yeah, it's fine, recast, that first Black Panther movie did so much for so many people. I mean, it didn't speak to me in a big bad way, but I know it had a lot of an impact on a lot of people, and I think recasting Chadwick after his death, I feel like you do this movie as a tribute to him, and I don't know, it feels, what they're doing feels right. It feels classy, doesn't it? You know, this movie that's like the biggest role that Chadwick ever had, and it was, you know, it was something that touched so many people and had an impact on his life as well. And the sequel is going to be as much as it is a superhero movie with the big bombastic action scenes and everything, and as much as it's going to be a continuation of the story of Wakanda. And I feel like that's the thing that the Black Panther movies have to do going forward, whether there is a Black Panther 3, which I don't know if there even will be, because after watching Black Panther 2, I was like, what can they do in a sequel? And this is like, I feel like that's where you were going anyway. It's just, now you don't have your lead star, you kind of had to tweak out that things, but I feel like Namor was definitely the direction to go, and Atlantis, and having like that war and that conflict going on there, that would have been the movie anyway. But all the stuff that they're doing with like this, all the send off to Chadwick Boseman stuff that they're doing, it feels classy. You know, you've got, not only is it like a funeral for a fictional character that's died, it's also kind of you're watching, you know, you're grieving with these characters in a really interesting way, and it's a really interesting way to have that kind of experience with a viewer. And I don't know what kind of that's what it feels like to me. Maybe it might feel like something different to someone else, but for me anyways, it feels like this is the best way that they could have done it, outside of just not making the movie, but you would have to reference it and other things. So I think just having it be like, yes, he's dead, whether we get a T'Challa from another universe coming in through like the multiverse things, I don't know if that's more disrespectful than just straight up recasting, but at least then it's a different person, it's a different T'Challa. But yeah, you can use that as kind of a way to have your like alternate version of Claw that is the big sound monster that does look like the comic book version. You get your alternate version of Man-Ape, which is a villain and looks like the comic book version. I'm interested to see if Winston Duke has a lot to do in this movie. He's in the trailer, kind of, but I want him to get more stuff, because I like that actor. I think he's good in what he's in. I just feel like he's gotten like the short end of the stick, because he's got a really badass character. Like, Man-Ape, you can do a lot with that character. One of my favourite Black Panther villains. He was badass in that Avengers TV show. But I feel like he's been underused massively. Like, that guy can do a great action sequence, and if you concentrate on an action sequence with just M'Baku versus like a load of Atlanteans, that can be great. If we get M'Baku versus Namor or M'Baku versus Atuma, great. Do more stuff with that character. I know he's not the main character. I know the movie's not called Man-Ape. The movie's not called M'Baku. But I love that actor. I love that character. I want him to get his scene. I want him to get his moment. And kind of got it in the first one. It was used more as comic relief. But the second one, I hope he gets I hope he gets his big moment to shine, because he hasn't had that yet, and I want that actor to get his big moment. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I don't know why. I wasn't a big fan of Black Panther 1. It has its fans. People really like it. It has a lot to say about an audience that I'm obviously not in. But I'm excited for the second one because it feels like not only are we getting the emotion, but we're also getting a villain that or a character that I've always wanted to see in the MCU, and we're getting more bombastic action sequences. We're getting that like highway scene again, more highway scenes, swords coming out of cars. There's a lot, and also just more stuff that's underwater, and who doesn't love more stuff that's underwater, and like beautiful visuals, and just looking at when Namor comes down to sit on his throne. Oh my god, that it looks beautiful. The amount of people that are bitching and moaning about how bad the water looks in The Little Mermaid. Look at this. They're doing it right. It looks good. It looks good. I think this is going to be more along the lines of an Eternals, where it genuinely looks beautiful and stunning, as opposed to a Black Widow Shang-Chi where it looks scuffed, very scuffed. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you're excited for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I know I am. And let me know in the comments below what you're most excited for in this movie, and whether you think that this is the right way to do it, or whether you think that recasting would have been a better job, would have been a better thing, or whether you think that they're going to bring in a multiversal version of T'Challa. Let me know in the comments below, and just comment. More comments are very needed. I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Peace.